Hello ladies and gentlemen, with this video I will announce my upcoming videos, 12 videos on the 12 ascendants and how the year 2025 will be looking for the 12 ascendants. I do this already 3-4 years in a row, 12 separate videos. This time most probably my videos, each one of them will be longer with more information than the videos that I made previously. This is because in 2025 my notes, if you see, so many things are happening, so many big interesting changes are taking place. I would just name a few of them. I cannot analyze all of them because for each one of them I will be having, of course, separate video. But of course, for in these 12 videos I will be first of all looking at the eclipses. We have important change in the positions of the lunar nodes, because they, in 2025, next year, the lunar nodes on 1st of May of 2025 move backwards from Pisces, Virgo, to Aquarius, Leo. So Rahu, the head of the dragon, is entering Aquarius, and Ketu, the tail of the dragon, is entering Leo. And this is already big change. They will be staying there 18 years, and you can imagine when we go back 18 years what happened when the lunar nodes were there. But not only that, the lunar nodes are causing the eclipses. And in 2025 we will be having 4 eclipses. I will be looking into these 4 eclipses, but not also the eclipses I always analyze in separate videos. But just briefly to tell you, we have 2 total lunar and 2 partial solar: 13 March, 29 March, 7 September, 8 September, and 21st of September. So these are the 4 dates of eclipses on the axis of Leo Aquarius this time. And when you imagine Leo Aquarius is axis of immense power, because there we have 2 royal stars, Fomalhaut of the spiritual guru. In Leo we have Regulus. Regulus is the one of the royal king. A big change in the royal structures, in the ruling powers we will see in the world. Another important event is taking place. Saturn is also changing sign, but again this is sidereal astrology, ladies and gentlemen. We look at the actual placements of the planets and the stars. So Saturn, as you see him on the sky, this is also how you see him in the horoscope. So now as we speak, it is 25th, I think, November. Saturn is in sidereal Aquarius and he's retrograding. But on the 6th of April of next year, Saturn is entering Pisces. And 30 years ago, you can imagine what happened when Saturn was in Pisces. But we cannot look solely what happened with Saturn in Pisces 30 years ago, but we have to see the beginning of his cycle. Saturn in Pisces. Pisces is very important for us, the human beings, because we still live in the era of Pisces. We are not yet in Aquarius. Yes, we are experiencing Aquarius, but we're not yet astronomically, not yet in the era of Aquarius. Therefore, everything which takes place in Pisces is important. What is Saturn doing in Pisces? I will make separate video only about Saturn, but briefly to tell you the changes that we can cause are giant, because Pisces is the 12th house of the zodiac. Saturn is the lord of karma. 12th house is the house of the difficult, the bad house of karma, house of house of natural disasters, house of refugees. We will experience all this. Most probably we will experience water disasters. The war theater can have some placement on water. But Saturn is also about very wise. He will teach us wisdom while he will be for 3 years in Pisces. In the beginning, he also goes through his different phases. So he is becoming invisible on the 17th of February of 2025. And actually, this invisibility means that he takes with himself what he represents. Elderly people, old rulers which have to be changed. 25 degrees of Aquarius is very important. There you have some waters. He's taking with himself old secrets, and something new will reappear once he becomes visible on 3rd of May as a morning first in the 3rd degrees of Pisces. Very powerful degree in Pisces. And his new cycle begins after his conjunction with the Sun in the 26th of degree of Aquarius on the 12th of March. Assembly of Saturn with the Sun in Aquarius. Very spiritual, bringing the new, removing the old. It will be something very interesting. Then he has another this is the most important appearance of Saturn. Later also Jupiter is changing sign. He becomes stationary first of all in the 17 degrees of Taurus on 5th of February, and becomes invisible on the 3rd of June in the 4th degrees, this time of Gemini. His new cycle also begins when he will be conjoining the Sun on the 24th of June. This conjunction Jupiter-Sun is again discussion. Gemini. This is the trade, this is the communication. Jupiter is not very powerful in Gemini, and his first appearance will be on the 16th of July. While invisible, he is not going to protect us so much. Then you have the interesting Martial disappearance on 18th of August, and he appears, Mars is appearing in, first of all, before that I forgot to tell you, maybe I should not speak now about each change of signs of planet, because otherwise this will become too lengthy and maybe boring video. But also Mars becomes invisible in Virgo, and also his reappearance. So to continue with Mars, so Mars is becoming invisible on 18th of August of next year in Virgo. Like, he takes away what it means, Mars in Virgo, and in Virgo is a lot about health, like diseases, and health like old knowledge, rules related to health. Then his conjunction, which is actually showing what his next cycle will be about, is in November of 2025. The conjunction between Mars and the Sun is only meaning what is going to be planned, what is discussed, what he will represent in the future when he appears for the first time, which is as usual in May of 2026, and he appears in Aries. Mars appears in Aries, strong, clear, visible, king in Aries. Mars appears in Aries in degrees which are the horns of Aries, degrees really of ambition, maybe war, but I can tell you when he will be conjoining the Sun, this is in Sagittarius, so it looks like discussion of more of peace, new ideology, new it looks like more peaceful to me. But when he appears in Aries, this doesn't mean that he will solve the war-like theater situation. It means total change of the rules. Maybe things will be clear, more evident, and more promising to tell you, because Mars is not evil in Aries. So this is the main thing which is taking place in 2025, and we cannot skip the appearance of Mars in 2026, because I need to explain to you how the cycle of Mars will look like. But all of this I am discussing always in separate videos. Of course, I can look, and I have in my notes, you see how Venus, Mercury, I took notes on their disappearances, appearances, phases. They concern my talismans, of course, because I will make talismans only when, for example, Venus is extremely powerful. Like now for Saturn, I can tell you that I am making the last talismans of Saturn while he will be in Aquarius, and this will be until 6th of April next year. Then Mars in Saturn in Pisces is absolutely not good for talismans. For 3 years I will not be making Saturn talismans, but I'll try to make a lot so that I have enough talismans for the next 3 years of Saturn talismans. So same with Venus. When she's highly dignified, she's good for creation of talismans, but maybe I will not tell you about this now. I will make a separate video on this. What is the other dates which are very important in 2025? On 4th of July is the first appearance of Aldebaran, and this time Aldebaran will not be afflicted by Saturn. For the last 3 years I couldn't make any talismans of Aldebaran because Saturn was in Aquarius and was squaring Aldebaran. This time on 4th of July Aldebaran becomes visible, and I will definitely make Aldebaran talismans. I have on my website talismans of Aldebaran, which I made before Saturn entered Aquarius. I made a lot so that I have enough talismans on my website for the period when I will not be able to make Aldebaran talismans. Then on 18th of August we have the first heliacal rise of Sirius. I always welcome Sirius, I observe Sirius, and of course I consecrate my Sirius talismans. Also I made this year. You can see them on my website. And also, luckily, for the first time after 3 years of waiting, we can have Regulus unafflicted by Saturn. Regulus becomes invisible on July 16 and is becoming visible on 16th of September of every year. This is the star, the heart of the lion, in the 6 degrees of Leo. And also this year, after 6th of April, I'll be able to make my new Regulus talismans, but I always have in stock, simply because I know when the planets will be afflicted, or the stars, and I make lots of pieces in advance. Fomalhaut was also afflicted, and the first appearance of Fomalhaut is on the 26th of May. These are the stars of amazing importance, because these are the 4 royal stars which form the cross. This is the Christian cross, the cross of the archangels, the cross of 4 animals. The cross is very important, not only for Christianity but for other cultures. And finally, unafflicted 4 royal stars we will have in the year 2025. When the 4 royal stars were heavily afflicted during the 3 past years, you can imagine these are the royal stars. We always, in such situation, have crisis in rulership, crisis in kingship, crisis in economy. This is always the case, because these are the stars with royal power. Spica becomes visible on the 7th of November of this year, also 2024, also next year 2025. Gemma becomes visible on 6th of November. I'm gonna use them all for talismans making. And finally, Antares becomes visible on the 31st of December. Another not royal star, Antares, yes, also. So this is important, and now we'll be mentioning this in my 12 videos, which I will make for the 12 ascendants. Yeah, I have in my notes also information about the first appearance of Mercury, the first appearance of Venus. Maybe I mentioned this in my 12 videos, otherwise this one becomes too much. So ladies and gentlemen, just before I finish, what are the most interesting aspects of the year of 2025? Mars in Cancer trining Saturn, Venus in Pisces, trining 15 to 22nd of May, significance 15 to 22nd of May, important trine, harmonious aspect between Mars, Venus, Saturn in Pisces. What is this important for? Actually, this is exalted Venus we have with Saturn and Mars is trining. Practical, this can bring good financial results if we apply the practicality of Saturn and Mars. You know, both not powerful enough in Pisces, in the water sign Pisces and Cancer, but still they can be very productive for healing, for new inventions, or revisiting the old, the ancient, related to healing, related to spiritual enlightenment, related to medical herbalism, let's say homeopathy. This could be something very, very interesting, 15 to 22nd of May. Then you have another square, which is a little bit critical from June 8 to June 15 of 2025. You have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, which are squaring, exact squares. When I mean these aspects, they are exact. Jupiter, Mercury in Gemini, and what is important here is that Jupiter will be invisible, but Mercury will be in evening first, just visible. This square is a little bit critical and can bring financial problems, financial market troubles. Then from 16th to 15th of August, Mars in Virgo is making opposition to retrograde Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and they form T square to Jupiter and Venus in Gemini. How I see this, I tell you, Saturn, Neptune both retrograde in Pisces, opposing Mars in Virgo. Only Neptune is in his own kingdom here in Pisces. Jupiter fallen, Venus peregrine, Mars in Virgo, like the only planet which is very powerful here. This is the Christ love, the Christ consciousness will be the protective power in this particular situation, which is very disharmonious for almost everything, for the warlike situation, for health, for business. So the Christ consciousness and love. Then the Venus opposing Saturn, Neptune retrograde, this can create costs, like we will be having lots of expenditures and less gains. But faith, unconditional, Christ consciousness, and this is not only for people who are Christians, this is valid for people of every belief system and religion. So ladies and gentlemen, this was my, so to say, summary, brief summary, because more of this is coming. It is very hard, you know, to make summary. You know, I will summarize with this letter, who I think Maxim Gorky wrote a letter, and he said, in the letter he said, I'm writing to you a very long letter because I do not have time to make it short. So it is difficult really to give you a short overview of actually too many celestial events, phases, transits, planetary aspects. So I try just to mention to you some which I consider to be the most important ones. And of course my second video will be on, like I mentioned to you, the following things: the war, the finances, food supply, agriculture, refugees, knowledge, enlightenment, awakening. Even I will mention the artificial intelligence, and certainly I will summarize for you which will be the talismans that I will be creating in 2025. And just to mention that talismans, I don't make 8 every month. I make when the planet or the star are very highly dignified. For example, you can have Venus, let's say, in Pisces exalted, and you can easily say she's highly dignified, but this is not necessarily so. Could be that there is affliction, could be that there is a planet with Venus, could be that the degree is not appropriate, could be that the ascending sign is slow or the moon is slow. So there are too many rules and very specific protocols which I'm following when creating the astrological talismans. That's why it is not every month that I'm making talismans, but when there is a chance, I'm trying to make big numbers of them. I create my own jewelry, following again the very ancient tradition, and I am informing you in advance when there is a very good celestial election for the creation of the astrological talismans. In the meantime, the ones that I previously made in big numbers, I repeat, because sometimes the planet is rarely highly dignified, like Saturn in Capricorn or Saturn in Aquarius, then I have to make many. So they are available. You can look at them on my website, and soon I will be informing you on the ones that I will be making in the year of 2025. If there is something that you want to hear specifically in my predictions of year 2025, please comment under this video. I am certainly looking at each and every comment, especially if I see it. Some I don't see because the feed is not showing everything, but I'm trying, so please comment, and if there is something that I can add to my videos, this would be very good. All the best to you.